Part 2. The rich popular boy rejected me, but ended up marrying me in the end. I quickly turned away but wanted to take another look to see if that was actually Daniel. I turned around again to get a glimpse, and it was indeed him. He still looked as handsome as ever, and the feelings I had back in high school came rushing back. I wondered if he was still the same Daniel from high school or if he had changed. I was curious, and throughout class, all I could think about was whether I wanted to talk to him or not. I decided, why not, and went ahead and talked to him. I think I scared him a little because he thought I was just a random guy. He looked at me closely and realized that it was me, and then he smiled. We started with a small conversation, eventually talking about our majors and plans for the future. It was ironic how both of our plans for the future aligned. I knew the conversation was bound to die soon, so I went ahead and asked if he was doing anything after class. He told me that his next class started in a couple of hours, so he was probably going to be at our school's union to do homework and eat lunch. I nervously asked if he wanted company after class, and he said sure. We started talking more and more, and even started going to each other's houses to study. He became my best friend, and I was his. As much as I wanted to ask him out again, my pride wouldn't let me. I knew that if something was going to happen, he would have to make it official. After a couple of months, we decided to eat out at one of our favorite restaurants near campus. We ordered our usuals and sat next to each other. Afterwards, he looked at me and said, "So are you going to make a move?" I was startled and started smiling. I joked and said, "Why do I have to make the move?" He smiled back and grabbed my hand. "There, is that enough?" he asked while blushing. At this point, I was freaking out, and my face probably looked like a tomato. But like any regular guy, I played it cool and kept my calm. I held his hand tighter and said yes. We left the restaurant holding hands and laughing together. Then I brought up high school and asked him what happened. He looked at me and apologized. He told me he had feelings for me back then, but couldn't date anyone because of how strict his parents were with school and pushing him to become a doctor. He told me he had to prioritize school and couldn't let any distractions get in the way. I smiled and finally got the closure I needed to let go of that past. I wanted to focus on the present and my new relationship with Daniel. Years passed by, and eventually we both got into med school together and ended up becoming doctors. Those years were tough, and I accumulated a lot of debt. Well, for me, anyway. My parents gave me the biggest hug after graduation, and my mom was excited that she could finally brag to her Asian friends that her son and son-in-law are doctors. After a couple of years, I proposed to Daniel, and he gave me 2 beautiful children. Daniel and I have been happy ever since and recently went on vacation to the Philippines together.
Now you can watch the third part by pressing share and more.